Your Beatitude, George Cardinal Arangeri, Your Excellencies, Reverend Fathers, Reverend Sisters, political leaders, and well-wishers. It is with immense joy and gratitude that we all are gathered here for the blessing of the Mar Sleeva Hospital, Cherpungal. Cherpungal carries the legacy of one of the earliest settlements of Malabar Christians. It is in this blessed land that Mar Sleeva Medicity has been built. On the day of the feast of the exaltation of the Most Holy Cross, and we are right here to witness the historic moment of its blessing. Memories are still afresh. The parish of Cherpungal, under the leadership of the then Vicar Father Abraham Kadiyampadikal, in fact astonished us by providing this site for the hospital free of cost. They donated 27 acres of land to the Palai Diocese Medical Education Trust. The construction of the hospital was at first headed by Monsignor Philip Kallarangatt, and on his retirement, Monsignor Kudinyalil shouldered the responsibility. With his untiring and hard work and expertise, he completed the structural work of the hospital. He is a great man. In the year 2016, Monsignor Abraham Kullitharathamaliyil assumed the office of the Executive Director. And it is his commitment and the indomitable spirit that mobilized the entire project to its present state. His two priest brothers, Father Paul and Joseph, are also today here with us. The service rendered by all the Vicars General of the Diocese, including Monsignor Kollamparambil, Vicar General of Shanshabad Diocese, is to be particularly remembered now. Reverend Dr. Joseph Periyat, Reverend Joseph Kiranjana, Reverend Garvasi Sani Totatil, and Reverend Father Matthew Chenat serve this institution as its directors, and their commendable teamwork, along with Monsignor Abraham Kullitharathamaliyil, has increased the pace of the entire project. Their dedication and hard work are remarkable. I especially remember when Reverend Father Jose Ancheril, the Vicar Mar Sleeva Church, Cherpungal, and the very Reverend Father Agustin Kodippukutti, the former Vicar. Mr. Romit CJ is the auditor, and he gives strict vigilance over the financial handlings of the Diocese of Palai and the Hospital Trust. I gratefully remember Mr. P.V. Chacko and his team too. As members of the managing committee of the hospital, Mr. Justin Kunnumbaram and Dr. Sunny Chandrankunnel are rendering exceptional and remarkable services. From the beginning of this great project, two persons I have seen every day, Mr. Roy and Mr. Varkicheta. The entire clergy of the Diocese of Palai is to be specially mentioned in this auspicious occasion. Their cooperation in all the activities of the diocese and their constant support for the Mar Sleeva project are unparalleled. The solidarity of the priests of this diocese serves as the real foundation stone of this endeavor too. Father Thomas Vengil, Father Sebastian Tail, and Father James Thottappallil need special mention here. All the parishes of the Diocese of Palai, especially Cherpungal, Cathedral, Kurvalangatt, Arivithura, and Varananyanam, have contributed greatly to this project. I remember with gratitude all the sponsors who contributed rooms and wards of Mar Sleeva. As we all know, the presence of Cardinal Alan Cherry, the major Archbishop of the Sleeva Malabar Church, makes this event ever memorable. He is going to consecrate the chapel to bless the hospital building. Cardinal Alan Cherry is a person of efficient leadership, originality and creativity. He is a great missionary, and it is during his tenure that the Sleeva Malabar Church has regained all its jurisdiction, actually all over the world. He was with us in all the milestones of the diocese, blessing of the Alphonsian Pastoral Institute, where the 31st CBCI plenary assembly was conducted, blessing of the Ramapuram Foreign Church, the recent and the Sarani Sangamam at the Kallarangatt are a few among them. His efficient and effective leadership has been instrumental for a solid unity among the Syro-Malabarians, as well as a wider acceptability of our tradition among other churches. I extend cordial welcome to His Beatitude, Cardinal George Alan Cherry. I welcome His Excellency Bishop Matthew Araikal, Bishop of Kallarangatt. He is an ecclesiastical leader, the senior most serving bishop of the Sleeva Malabar Church, and a close friend of the Diocese of Palai. Bishop Joseph Kunnat, Bishop Emeritus of Adilabad, with whom we started the Palai mission in Adilabad, a veteran missionary, is present here. Bishop John Nelly Kunnat, Bishop of Idiki, is a good philosopher, and I am privileged to say that he was my student at Kodavadur. Bishop Joseph Pulikan, the auxiliary Bishop of Kallarangatt, a theologian with a pastoral heart, is also at least partly my student. His Excellency Bishop Joseph Pulikan and Bishop Jacob Murikan are present here. There is no need of a formal welcome for them because we three together with one mind and heart and behind this project, and actually we three together welcome all of you. Archbishop Matthew Mulekkat of Kottayam visited here day before yesterday, and he blessed our water sewage plant. Archbishop Pavatil will be visiting us in one of the coming days. Our beloved Imam of Hiratipeta and Swamiji of Sri Ramakrishna Madham are here. We are happy. I extend a rapturous welcome to all the political leaders. Sri Umman Chandi, Sri P.J. Joseph, Sri P.C. George, Sri Andrew Anthony, Sri D. Kuriakos, Sri Thiruvenchur Radhakrishnan, Sri Thomas Chadigadan, Sri Mons Joseph, Sri Josky Mani, Sri Joshi Augustine, Sri P.C. Thomas, Sri Suresh Kuru, Sri Joseph Barakan, Sri N. Vasavan, Sri Vakajan Matatil, Sri Joy Abraham, Sri P.M. Matthew, Sri Joy Nadikara, Sri Joe Storm, Sri Manishi Kapan, Sri N. Hari, and all the authorities of the district block panchayats. They all contributed much to this institution. Warm welcome is extended to Sabhadaram and the Pastoral Council Chairman, Dr. Sriya Thomas Sir, to Dr. A.T. Devsia and John Kacharamatam, and Sri Baburi Sebastian, the former PC. We are especially honored by the presence of the two priests from Rome, Father Ezra Sullivan and Father Gabriel, belong to the order of preachers, also known as Dominican order. They are doing research in Angelicum University in Rome. I welcome the heads of the department of this great institution. Dr. Lizzie Thomas, Medical Director. She is an asset for all of us, with her more than 20 doctors and 70 nurses. Mr. Tony Manuel, Chief Human Resource Officer, Captain A.C. Joseph, Chief Operations Officer, Mr. Ajit Thomas, Chief Finance Officer, Mr. Manjit Jarian, Chief Branding Officer, Ms. Teresa Joseph, Nursing Chief, Mr. Rennie Joseph, Head Information Technology, Mr. Jojo K. James, Head Clinical Engineering, Mr. Adam Dominic, Head Engineering MEP, Mr. Girish Kumar, Senior Manager Purchase, Dr. Rashmi Nair, Manager Operations, Ms. Jinu Mani, Insurance in Charge. Also, I remember our engineers, Mr. N.M. Salim, the architect, Mr. C.J. Mohan, project engineer, Mr. Tom Narendagadi, engineer, Mr. Felix, structural engineer, Mr. Sebastian, site engineer. Project management consultancy staff, Mr. Hari Pradash Nair, director, technical, Shambhu V.S., senior project engineer, Akhil Vasudevan Nair, senior project engineer, Nijin Chandran, senior project engineer. Consultants, Mr. John Joseph, MEP, Mr. Benny Sakaria, interior designer, Madam BG, project consultant. Contractors, Mr. Bibish Betur, civil construction, and Mr. Suresh, assistant constructor. The first hospital started in Kerala was also Santa Cruz Hospital at Cochin in 1506. Under the leadership of one Father Matthew of St. Joseph, 4 rural medical practitioners, Vaijanmar, contributed to Henrik von Wright's book, Hortus Malabaricus. Thus, the healthcare tradition of Kerala has official recognition all over the world. Sleeva Medicity is planned to have 750 beds. This Medicity has 17 super specialties, 22 specialties, 10 intensive care units, 11 operation theatres, 25 dialysis units. The hospital is provided with the most modern cath lab, and organ transplantation facilities are also made available here. This is a fully air-conditioned and digitalized hospital. Also, we have palliative and hospice facilities. Sleeva Medicity promotes an integrated and holistic approach in the field of health care. Allopathy, Ayurvedam, and homeopathy treatments are given enough space here. The classical Latin axiom goes like this: Tres faciunt collegium. 3 make a unity, a collegiate spirit, a collaboration. Allopathy, Ayurvedam, and homeopathy. The main floors of the hospital will be named after the eminent personalities of our eparchy. We have 8 floors. It will be named more or less like this: St. Alphonsa floor, Blessed Punyachan floor, Thomas Paremakil floor, Mar Sebastian Weigel floor, Reverend Manikatanar floor, Reverend Thomas Wengel floor, and there will be a BJP floor. Don't be surprised. It is Bishop Joseph Pandikyaparambil Navadi Memorial floor. The separate residence for the priests who have different offices in the administration of the hospital will be named Domus Josephat, because our Velipidav liked these names, Domus Josephat. And that will be also the sacerdotal order to be care for the sick is an essential aspect of Christ's mission. As the church moves to the realm of sufferings and challenges for the people of God and the whole of humanity, we are following the footsteps of Christ our Lord and the mission of the church. The care and well-being of the patients is our priority. Pope Francis says, God is the only owner of life from beginning until its natural end. The Pope urges doctors to foster relations and focus on individual care relations that lead to sharing of medical knowledge as well as care for each person. We are treating not simply a sickness, but a person. The Holy Father again says, you, the doctors, are called upon to affirm the centrality of the patient as a person and his or her dignity with his inalienable rights, primarily the right to life, to live. He continues, the doctors are called to provide care with sensitivity and with respect for the dignity and for the physical and psychological integrity of each person. We also need to pay our attention to the words of Vatican State Secretary Cardinal Parolin that there are incurable diseases, but no sickness or diseases that cannot be cared to. Sleeva Medicity has a specific vision and mission. Sleeva Medicity is a new paradigm in the healthcare. Medical science is the noblest of all sciences. Omnium artium medicina nobilissima est. Sleeva should strive to keep this nobility intact. A Sleeva touch, a Sleeva model of patient care should be targeted. Mother Teresa says, it is not how much we do, but how much love we put in the doing. Sleeva Medicity is a temple of health, a spiritual powerhouse to promote health to everybody. As we have the Home Pala project, this is a Health Pala project. Sleeva is a great employer too. As it advances, people who belong to different categories can be employed here. Thus, this institution will contribute to the nation building of this modern era. Every staff of this house should have a constant touch with the mission and vision of Sleeva. We always promote collective responsibility in this premise. We are convinced of the Gandhian doctrine. Profession without ethics is a social sin. Nothing against Christian ethics, Catholic ethics, medical ethics, and Gandhian ethics will be allowed here. No unethical trends are tolerated here. Sleeva is committed to offer quality treatment to all patients who come over here. It envisages research and learning programs also. It is our aim that Sleeva must be developed into research centers. In the future, maybe the mother hospital for 3 big centers of allopathy, Ayurveda, and homeopathy. Sleeva Medicity is a wide door for collective and effective work. The poor must be at the heart of the church, or else the church betrays her mission. We begin with the consecration of this chapel. It makes this Medicity a city of God. We appreciate the service of the police department and all the volunteers of different categories. With these words, I conclude and I humbly request the Major Archbishop to light the lamp, consecrate the chapel, and to bless the hospital. Thank you.